more and more protests and more protesters who call for revolution without realizing where this really could lead. So I think it's important to make a video about it where all this begins. And of course, they want more chaos to make their order. So it's not new world order, but it's more the world order they want to do since beginning of time, or the illusion means a new order of the ages. And of course, they never had this kind of order, but they want to implement it. We almost have it already, but they want an absolute order over the whole earth. So the ones who say, well, this is again conspiracy and so on, there is no conspiracy theory, only facts. And this argument is used all the time as a sledgehammer argument to discredit everyone who questions things, to make him a fool and laugh about it. But if you really watch what it is, a secret plan by a group to do something unlawful or harmful, well, they are not secret. Yeah, he is Freemason before president. It's all legal. They make the law, but they do things harmful. And conspire means literally to breed together. So I mean, everything in the system or something that is done by more than one person is already a conspiracy, if you want, but not alone. So if you tell someone to make conspiracy theory all alone, well, this is not really what is going on. And before I start to type wild comments and say this and this is not right, at least watch the video until the end. And if you are here to keep the same horizon, well, then you are probably on the wrong place. Again, like always, think for yourself, but don't ask how it works. Maybe use something else than just the indoctrinated mind. And if you want to watch other videos or this video in other language, then feel free on the other channels. So let's start with protest. Protest means literally to declare or state formally or solemnly. Protester, one who makes solemn affirmation. So it means to be pro means for, and to test means to try. So all you do is to agree that everything goes again as you as they impose you. As long as you vote and protest, it will not change anything. But you have to look it further than your own nose or your own little matters. These things is going on for centuries and always use the same technique. People are worried about themselves and their little things they want to change for themselves. And others are just here, love you, just see it positive and so on. Well, for the bankers, everything is going well. Everything is positive, and this is an article from today. There is no crisis for the banks. Dow Jones is okay. The CAC 40 is also okay, and BlackRock is also okay. The biggest bank today. As you can see, they are like on the year highest rate what they can get. Here you can see all the protests, unrests going on actually now today in the earth. So maybe it's not only in your area or in your countries. Global unemployment goes up, and also debt is going up, like everything. but for them, everything is okay. The money runs good, economy works well, everyone is protesting, everything works very well. So this is the symbol of the revolution used since a very long time. And revolt, what does revolt really means? It means to revolving, to turn around, um, to travel around the central point, yeah. But or even to go back, but it's not changing everything in another way than what you already have. Yeah, there was never less government after a revolution, but always more. So think again if you really call for revolution. And the symbol is like the to compare the pirates. Yeah, they always have the same flag. Like the revolution always has the same symbol. So this, of course, is all created, if you want or not, by the privates who are pirates. So let's see what many call the different revolution. The French Revolution, one of the oldest, most known. All with the symbolic. Everything is here. Everything is in place, done by the Freemasons. Yeah, like in France, liberty, égalité, fraternité. And you can see the symbol here is the symbol of the fascism. So all this revolution is done by the Freemasons. Yeah, this is fraternity means the brotherhood. Freemason. If you are not in a brotherhood, all this law doesn't count for you. Same in the Iron Revolution in '79. Everything starts already before. As you can see, the government, the British government, made already huge business with the Shah, and the cabinet agreed that we should continue to support the Shah. Before in '78 and in '79 they start to think about if they should not start to get in relation with a new regime in Iran. So they always have the business inside, and of course, us in already in '53, CIA was already there. Another example is the Romanian Revolution. Yeah, the Iliescu, the president who was there, he said in a country like Romania it was impossible to have a revolution, so it had to be staged. They admitted already, and just a point that could maybe make that others want to get implicated, whoever was it, or if the Americans, Russian, or whatever. But Romania paid off debt. Yeah, they was one of the only country that was out of debt. That maybe this didn't worked out for the others. And I don't say that they had a good life there. Yeah, but he maybe just had to realize that if they don't want to get in trouble like everyone is today, they have to see all the different things different way. Would not say that this could work really. Um, Also in the Arab Spring, same. These guys are just people coming from different places, but there was already, um, of course, they are studied people. They are not coming just like that. They are implemented to just make a regime change. Mubarak had to go, and then the Muslim Brotherhood came, who had good relations with Obama. Uh, you can see in that here that is also a guy who watched all this. They but as we already know, CIA and Al Qaeda and all these guys they are all bad together. Same in Ukraine, Maidan. Also, there are different players like the Russian or the Americans on one side, or maybe more the European Union who was behind for the Americans. And of course, they, as today, have very good relations. Cultural revolution, just not to forget that in China, that was like 2 million people dead, and the Russian Revolution was up to 50 million people dead. So just to remind you that revolution doesn't mean something really nice happen. Chile, Lebanon, uh, Catalonia, in Iraq. Come on, Pakistan, Hong Kong, West Papua, Iran, yeah, everywhere. They start more and more to get in more and more countries. They're coming up with revolutions. Algerians are on the rise, like almost every week. Venezuela, Sudan, yeah, nobody hear about that. Venezuela. Um, Ecuador also is coming, Peru, and so on. It's non-stop. Every week is new. Here in Italy, we have the Sardinia. Yeah, this a new movement where they want to be fish put in a box. Uh, Ukraine, yeah, again, they're starting to riot and um, everywhere they have that people start to of course people start to get set up about what is going on. Montenegro just now also started. So you have all these different countries where people are going into the street, and of course on one side this is all set up, this is all a goal. Let's continue to see in France. Of course they are like over 1 year now. They are like every Saturday, and now almost every 5 days or so they are. And not only the yellow jackets now, everyone is going into the street. We have the Extinction Rebel. We will see more about them, and of course Greta with all the kids. And this Extinction Rebel, of course, symbolic and so on. As we can also see in the whole other cultural revolutions, is very important to see also like about all the stuff is just coming from another corner. And they are making now they're having now protests in 55 countries, and just more are coming all the time, all of course created and organized. It's also important to notice that the countries who have the most wealth, they are very quiet. Yeah, if you have somebody like that, then you have already a huge revolution. But everything is quiet. This one will be noticed, and it's like in UK, if you refuse the tea, you're already anarchist. So all this is, of course, implemented by the Freemasons and the whole hierarchy to create chaos. Yeah, they want more chaos. They have to push people into the street, and how this develop and so on. That this don't have to be organized, but of course, then if they go, the police will come, and it will get more hot and so on. They really want to get chaos. Um, this is the great mystery, order out of chaos. Yeah, they search the secret of the medieval alchemist in search of inner perfection. This is what they want. This is all what the whole structure is behind. Also today with AI and all that crap, they just want to burn everything down to rise again. Yeah, if you can see, this is not an eagle. This is phoenix, of course. So the other tool they have, divide and rule. So It's a political sociology divide and rule is a strategy to so discord and opposed element. Yeah, this is how they want to divide. They have already divided the races, the human race, the language, the species. But if you're left or right wing, it's the same eagle. Yeah. So no matter what side you are, you will always support the same guys who will just divide everything again. So we have the problem, reaction, solution, yeah. But the same who propose the problem, or the same who create the problem, propose the solution. So they create austerity. People are going to protest, and so the police can just more and more control them, and you can turn that around as you want. Then you can just get more and more, and then just turning in a circle. But today the police have, yeah, they have better equipment. It's not like in the 70s, who this guy, the riot was uh, quite soft. Today they really have quite large guns, and more protests you have since the 70s, more law we have. Yeah, this is how much more law we have since the 70s. Yeah, I don't know if this is only no, our world in that. This is the world. So I don't know if this really applies in general or just in one country. But this is, I mean, you can see that in every country. Yeah? We pay people that they make more law, and more we protest, more law they can make, more money they get for the police. Yeah, and more the police we get paid, the more they're gonna protect the guys around. And so this can end up really nasty in some places, like here in Chile. Yeah, and this girl get raped, tortured, and killed and hanged up in public so everyone can see. And coincidence or not, this was some months after the movie came out, the Joker, and finally in the final thing he is celebrated, and everybody have the mask. And this is something also people have to comprehend. As soon as you have a mask, you don't know who is under the mask. It's like we. I mean, if somebody have to wear a mask, you always have to ask the question, who is really under the mask. Reporters get taken away or arrested.
Carlos. Ey, está conmigo mi hijo. No. ¡Ey, no! ¡No, mi hijo! ¡Ah! ¡Ayuda! ¡No, es mi hijo, weón! ¡No!
Others murdered, journalists murdered at home. But if you see, this is no longer a protest. This is a war zone, yeah. And how it's going on in Chile and other places, this is pure chaos. Yeah, even the dogs don't agree. but in other places less funny.
佢掹槍啊！槍！喂！可唔可以開槍啊？想送呢一個救護車㗎，應該係中咗呢一個嘅實彈槍啊！
Some policemen have really no scruple then, or get completely out of control. But this is all what it is about. That everyone get out of control completely and start to mess up, provoke. This is all what they want to see. Even if you get suspended, yeah, this is what almost everyone want to do. India. Whatever the reason is, France losing eyes, yeah. Not the only one. They have very little weapons. They have a lot of guys. He lost his eye, and yesterday they just they provoked police so much that they are like in front, and there's a policeman just hit him again on the eye. And of course, everyone is set up, but they are provoking. Everyone is provoking. This is like what you have in France, like 350 injuries on the head, 24. You have 43 people hurt on the eye, and so on. They have, like I said, lethal weapons. And Macron is considered as unacceptable to a state governed by the rule of law to speak of police violence. Yeah, but he is right, because in a state of rule of law, you must obey the law, and if you don't obey the law, the police can come and hit on you. This is what you accept with democracy. Democracy is what this means. We will see that later. So some of them, they make quite a lot of money to just go to protests and cover the protests per month. Yeah, they collect some money per month. They have like 200 people who support them. They make more money than the most people who protest here, just by making videos. So it's a good business. And of course, there are all the jokers who give half truths and protect it with system thoughts. You never know who is really behind all these people, and they have quite some followers and some views. Then you have also this Dieudonné, who just create a crypto money, his own crypto money and of course also with the yellow jacket, they all jump on the board. And for the ones who didn't realize that he is just making some Freemasonic gesture with all these people. Yeah, same Obama saying that they want to push. Anyway, they make all these kind of gestures. And he have some 135 million views with 300,000 subscribers. A lot of people watch the videos without being subscribed, of course. Then we have a young guy. He is like Attali is one of the richest influencer, and Berchel is one of the philosopher who helped to make Libya and all the different stuff. And he is a lawyer, and he have a cabinet with this is the picture in his cabinet. Of course, he is a lawyer of the Yellow Jacket guy, one of the most known, and also talk for them, create a book like that is in all stores. Yeah, but he talk about the system, about the corrupt system. He is like um, making some TV shows with some known guys in France, and he was the lawyer of Julian Assange that gives him all the credits and so on. And of course, Julian Assange, like him, they never talk about the Freemason. They never talk about the pedophile rings. Yeah, just tell the people they are making conspiracy. So nothing to see. And also this Maxim Nicole, he is also like a guy who is all over, yeah, in all the news channel and so on. He is everywhere present, yeah, with interviews and like the other guys, they are just like always the same all over. And also talking about different stuff like Zionism, that is of course illegal. And so we have this Sorrel guy who is connected with the right wing. Yeah, this is with Marie Le Pen. He is like working with them. And here we have also the guy who is pro Zionism, even radical group. And this guy is financed. Sorrel is financed by this Philippe Penique, and saying he is Trump, make America great again, and again with this Dieudonné, and pretend being leftist nationalists when they are just, yeah, anyway. And of course, good friends with all these nice people. Of course, he take also the yellow jacket when needed, and he also have with this Égalité et Réconciliation, he have some 66 million viewers with some thousands of followers. So we have Macron celebrating his election. Of course, he had to be the angel when Le Pen was the devil, all created, of course, by these guys. And are you there to see any kind of symbols in this whole picture? Then you are really just a nut, yeah, and a conspiracy dude. But of course, everything is there, and they tell you what they want to do, yeah. And this is they want the cows, yeah. This is what they want. That's why they put the good guy there uh, against the bad girl, and but they tell you in the face what they really want to do. Then, of course, we have this Notre Dame who burned again. Same chaos they want to create, and also we can compare it maybe with Jeanne d'Arc to just create more feminist revolution. Yeah, to push the feminism and so on. But they are taking selfie with with the church burning behind. This is how narcissistic this guy really are. Anyway, and if they don't, yeah, if they are not really, they provoke, and so the people are just slowly getting really pissed off. This was from a year ago. This is now they have way more police force, and police are better paid. They're the only ones. Yeah, like or in Chile, they get very aggressive then. And then they say this is this black bloc. Yeah, nobody really knows who the guys are. But if you look in the symbolic again, you have the black bloc on different places, symbolic of Saturn, and of course all the symbols again, like Extinction Rebel, yeah, black bloc, cross everywhere, all the same. And then they come like in France, they say that these people are like the black bloc, like some simple people who just want to destroy everything. But I mean, you can see that he never used his jacket to even even they just bought this jacket, yeah. And then she is saying that 60% of the black bloc are like women who just know the problem and so on. Is completely staged. So it was funny to see. Of course, the black bloc, if you want to see what the black bloc really is. Like here in Chile. Ready, guys? Okay. Go.
¡Esa puta!
Yeah. This is the real black bloc anyway. Also, what very few have probably heard about is that in Chile they worked with Israeli army, miming Palestinian protesters rather than shooting to kill, to shoot them in the leg. Yeah. So they have a lot of injuries and people are still killed and so on, but they have there was different videos. I didn't found them anymore. Where the police they really from very close they shoot with real weapon in the leg of the protesters. It's completely messed up. But of course, the ones who punish are always the slave who punish the bad slaves. This didn't change today. Slaves against slaves, but everyone is just working for the same master. Here we have a map with all the conflicts. Yeah, these are more, let's say, heavier conflicts, but they are still going on since 97 here. Yeah, since today. We have the different conflicts all over the world. And all what they want to do is that everyone gets so pissed off that they have to install like world order. This is the end goal. And again, the map with all the protests, unrests, and so on. The Cultural Revolution, again, is like something we have already seen before. And this is what they want to trigger now. A lot of dead people in the time. And we just they want to repeat it in Germany. They indoctrinate the kids so much that they say now why the grandparents always every year they're gonna tell us what we have to do, but we can be happy they are dead soon. Yeah, so in this kind of, or even saying like the grandparents are the climate or terrorists, something like that. It's going really mad everywhere. So on internet is also funny how to see the instructions how to create a revolution. That was very easy to find different strategies how they say how to make it. Um, I didn't found there was a guy who make even a book and he was behind a lot of these revolutions on even the spring revolutions, Maidan and so on. But I didn't find the name of the guy. Maybe somebody will find it. But all they are always achieve with all these revolutions is just a regime change, and the guy is just coming back. So we can call it how we want, but the idea is, of course, something that is not from today. That is already since a while ago. They want a full, complete order for the whole civilization on the whole earth. So they work on that since long time, and we have already a world government, so-called, with different symbols already in place, and they don't hide it. Yeah, they use exactly the same symbols since uh, Roman Empire. Yeah, and all what they want to peace. They promote peace, but to have that peace, the contract, they have to make war. So again, this human rights are already on the complete new world order. Since Roman Empire, they use exactly the same symbols, and they don't hide it what they want. Just something besides not really some much to do, but could have a huge effect soon. That is the whole water shortage that will really infect a lot of people in a lot of places. And there are reasons why they have shortage. Like in Australia, they just have all. If it's not Nestle who pump the water, they redirect the water. Like in Iran, they and then use too much water for like in Las Vegas. Yeah, you can also see that in America, like in Las Vegas, they use too much water for the whole Las Vegas thing that is not around, and so on. But this can, of course, get a lot of conflict. Yeah? In India, it's 1.4 billion, in Pakistan, 200, and so on. This can, of course, get a problem, and they have no problem to make this kind of things that people really get messed up. If we can see, as this lady is just openly saying it.
We have heard that 500,000 children have died. I mean, that's more children than died in Hiroshima. And you know, is the price worth it?
I think this is a very hard choice, but we think the price is worth it.
Yeah, they can do it, and they have no problem to admit they can do it. And yeah, even if she admit that she was maybe going a little bit too far, I mean, they do it. That is, and they admit it, or they say it, like Manuel Macron with the Revolution book, the game of politic juggling. First the left, then the right. Yeah, this is where he was. His vision of France is the future new world that is undergoing to a great transformation that has not been known since the invention of the printing press of the Renaissance. So he know what he's doing, and he know for who he's doing. He says for who he's doing. And if you listen to this guy, they are really like. Yeah, they are so narcissistic. Yeah, listen to that.
Emmanuel Macron is Jupiter. I'm Hermes.
King of the gods, and he's the god of trade and thieves and trickery. Yeah, this is they're just saying openly who they really are. But again, before revolution, after revolution, you just have a bigger cage. That is all what is changing. And now people say everything that mainstreams that is really bad, and everything that is alternative is really good. And no matter in what country, they have their speakers, and who influence and just keep people within the system without realizing that they are just some gatekeepers. They are just playing on both sides all the time. Yeah. Some say I don't believe what is on internet, like Abraham Lincoln, and others are just promoting everything that is on internet, like yeah, saying for Friday for Futures, everything is good on internet. But they are playing on both sides. Yeah, they have no issue to conquer people on one on the other side or twist the side. This is what they want to do. So this is what democracy is. This is what they propose, and this is exactly what they do. So no matter um, The difference of a democracy is just that, and a dictatorship is that in dictatorship they tell you to shut up, and in democracy they tell you to continue to speak. But it is just a dictatorship disguised in some nice puppies. Um, but the result of democracy is a totalitarian fascist state based on violence. If we don't agree, we get harassed, bullied, aggressed, tortured, and finally killed. If the police come and you don't agree with them, then you will get killed. Or you defend yourself and you get killed. So, but this is what it is. Yeah, we have again the fascist symbol here, like in France. This is what they're defending and always defend it. So don't be surprised. This is what they call socialism and democracy. Socialism is exactly the same, just with some fancy balloons and so on. Then you can go vote and just choose your budget. Yeah, but um, in fact, if you go to vote, then you give up your responsibility to some politicians who are supposed to represent you. Yeah, this is the budget. Yeah, and they're gonna do what they tell you to do. Yeah, they are working for democracy and they are working within the hierarchy. Um, they never really represent you. They just propose you or tell you to vote to not get ruled by a psychopath. So they tell you to vote for a psychopath. Yeah, this is what they do. But if you give up your voice, your vote, then you no longer will be heard. Nobody will hear you. You can go protest and shout out so much you want. Election, they just make what they want with the people, change the opinion, pay the ones, or change the bailout, mm, pay the lobbyist, find a back door, take a recount, whatever they want, they always will find a back door to make for how they want the people going to vote or the result of the vote. Anyhow, on any matter, they if the like in France, the people vote against the Europe, but they're still in Europe because they had the contract of the that was the Treaty of Rome. Yeah, of course, Club of Rome behind. Also, what the people call out direct democracy is complete bullshit, of course. Switzerland is a direct democracy. It doesn't change anything. You can vote as much as you want. They just give you the happy thing of thinking that you are participating in deciding, but this is a complete fantasy and magic trick to just fool you again. Yeah, more democracy is just more fascist state, more law, and so on. But the real question is like, what law is prior, national, international, or ecclesiastic, yeah, church and religion. Who is number one? Yeah, is the national, or if you vote nationally, will it apply if it fit to the ecclesiastic and the international law? So who is number one? Yeah, in fact, this is what is really going on. Yeah, if you vote and it doesn't fit with the international or the ecclesiastic law, then it doesn't matter. Just to show you the hierarchy, they are making the law. Yeah, he is making the law. This is the Roman, the civil law. All what is in blue is all Roman civil law. So this law is coming from the Vatican. You can say whatever you want. This is the fact, and the law, the common law, also is going back to the crown. The crown, of course, is crown corporation that is against rule by the Vatican. So you have already these two, and then you have the Sharia that is also going back to Vatican. This is another story. And then you have the international law. Yeah, it's already a dictatorship. It's just 5 permanent members, and they are telling all the 200 other nations what they have to do. They just have to agree or not. And this will be implied by the politicians locally, and you are just here. You can stand or walk away. This is all what you can do. But it doesn't matter what you're going to vote. Yeah, they going to represent they, and they represent this ones. Yeah, so in from top, yeah, they only see shit down there, and you from up, you only see assholes. This is all what you get, and this is what the dictatorships look like, and this is what you will get. No matter, you can go up in the pyramid, this is all what you will get, and it's for all the same. They're up, they only see the shit down there, so they are like on a shit pile. So also government means govern the mind. Yeah, this is all what they want to govern. They want to govern the thoughts. They want to tell you what to think, to feel, to work, to breathe, to where you have to study, where you have to look. And all the people who claim that to change the system um, are just changing the illusion, just changing the master. Yeah, but they, as long as they need a master, they also remain slaves. Yeah, and why to change the system exactly? Because only robots, yeah, need to change system to get different code, to get different applications, different programs, different functions, so the robot can function properly and say hi to everyone and maybe catch the ball. But finally, the code, we didn't invent the code. Yeah? This code is here, and if we want to change the code, we have to ask the master if we can change the code. We just can't, like how they pretend, to change the code and hack the code. This will get everyone in big struggle. So if the system doesn't work, and we maybe just should maybe realize one day that the system doesn't work, why we don't try without the system? Because everything to live we have already. We already live on a beautiful place where we have everything. Maybe we have to go more south that we can eat all the year around. Anyway, this is another question. But people should think without changing the system or accepting the same system, there is another possibility, and not just stick with the possibilities they try to put us in the mind. And if you don't agree, just go burn some stuff in the city and destroy everything, and maybe you will get heard. This definitely doesn't work. Maybe start to get out of the city and look about what we can done in on the land. And if you want to know more about how to get away from the system and unplug yourself from the system and walk away to maybe never come back, or maybe just try out. There are many different options than just doing nothing or just go to destroy and create chaos. For them, they will use the chaos. So question everything and everyone, including everything you hear here. If someone can know it, everyone can know, otherwise none can. So just think for yourself, but never ask someone how it works. Ask yourself why it doesn't work, and never take something for granted. Verify it for yourself. Thanks for watching, and hear from us soon again.